Hello, I'm here again, and this time I'm showing you my book, Journey into an Unknown World, The Way to Oneness Revisited. A long time ago, in fact, in 1982, I wrote The Way to Oneness, this book. But it was not as fat as this book. Look, let me show you. It's a big book. I have worked on this again to make it even better. I'm going to put it down now. Originally, the story behind The Way to Oneness was that I channeled it over a period of 21 days spread over 1 year. The first 9 chapters were written between 26th of, I nearly said Boxing Day, that's English, the 26th of December through the 5th of January. So you can see I had plenty of time to write 9 chapters. After that, my life got busy teaching and so on. So when Easter came along, I was able to write a couple more chapters. And then when the summer vacation came along in August, I was able to finish it. That book was written on my knee, on my bed, channeled. It was straight text and it was educational. Later, I was to take it to the largest book fair in the world, and that was in Germany, and try and get someone to publish it. I went all over the place talking to people, and just as I was leaving, I'd been passing this tiny little building for every day. My head was burning. You know, it's kind of like flames coming out the top of my head like this. That's how it feels. Yes, that's a meaning for me. It means this is important. So I went inside, and there was a booth that was empty. And I said, well, there's no one here, I'll walk away. And as I walked away, this voice came out and said, where is it? And I turned around to see a man who was coming out of the curtains there. And I said to him, oh, you know about me? And he said, of course. And I said, you want my manuscript? And he said, yes. And I said, who told you about it? Someone in the English-speaking group? After all, I was in the German group now. And he did speak fluent English. And he said, no, the powers that be, the oneness, and pointing up to heaven. And he took this manuscript from me, and he held it like a baby. And he said, I will read it on the way home, and I will write to you within a couple of weeks to tell you when we will publish it. Now, this is strange, this is unusual, because after all, people don't usually say things like that. They usually say, well, we'll consider it. You know, we have 900,000 other books, and maybe we'll give it some thought. Well, as good as his word, 2 weeks later, he wrote to me that the book would take 1 year to produce and that it would be published by then. And it was. They renamed it. They called it Journey into an Unknown World. Well, I didn't mind that because, after all, my book was published. Journey into an Unknown World went into many bookstores throughout Germany and was an immediate success. And they published probably about 12,000 books. I'm not sure, I lost count how many editions they printed. And then the wall came down, the Berlin Wall came down, and suddenly that book was the first book to go into East Berlin. I had no idea. They didn't tell me till a lot later. And of course they published it as a softback, because before it was a hardback. I was very grateful. I was so pleased that so many people who had been denied philosophy and theology and spiritual attitudes to whatever they were thinking and feeling were to get my book, The Way to Oneness. So here it was, called Journey into an Unknown World, an inviting title. So here I am all these years later with a radio show called Journey into an Unknown World, because I liked it too. And here I am with this new version of it being republished for you to read and study. So what is this book? Basically, This book is all that you need to know from in the beginning was the Word, and the Word was a vibration. I explain how everything came into form because of friction of light and darkness. Through this book, you'll understand how angels, cherubims, and seraphims lived and created and evolved into form, such as we are today, humans. You'll learn about your psychic skills, what they are. You'll learn about the planes of evolution and ascension and descension. You'll learn through this lots of meditations to do. You'll learn how to listen to your spirit guides to develop psychometry, clairvoyance, clairaudience, and clairsentience. And you will learn how a guru ascends in vibration in this world to what spirit guides are, how the planes of ascension have halls of learning and knowledge that you can tap into, out of body experiences. You'll also learn about the higher and lower sense of self that God has and how God learns through us all. There's so much within this book. And right at the end, I've added something important. Back in 1972 through 82, I channeled a lot of events that would happen in this world. They've all come to pass. So I thought that I would include those as well. And some insight and direction from people like Red Cloud about how we should take care of our own in our own country. So I hope you will find this book exceedingly interesting. It is a book that you will keep for your whole life and refer back to over and over again. In fact, I am going to build a course around this book. You will notice that I have a website, Sumaris Education Center. At the moment, you will find Psychic Development Level 1, which is an introductory course for you to study. Once we get through that, we'll go on to do Level 2, which is going to make you a Master Reader, Master Psychic. And by then, you'll be ready to study this book, Journey into an Unknown World, The Way to Oneness Revisited. I've got to get that in the second time, haven't I? Okay, so you can find this on my website. Again, you can get an autographed copy if you'd like, or you can download the ebook. Personally, I like books myself when I'm studying, so I can open them and refer back to them, and I kind of suggest that you think about that. If you want to know the full contents of this book, you can go to Amazon and you can flip it, and you can see all the chapters and the breakdown of what's in every chapter. And so that might convince you a little bit more in the idea that you want to study with me. I hope you will. Eventually, it is my plan to build physical face-to-face webinars and also events in places like Las Vegas, Chicago, or New York, and LA. So we'll have to see how that unfolds. But in the meantime, the first step is to get hold of a copy of the book and read it and see what you think. So I hope you'll like it, and if you do, I would much appreciate your comments about the book on Amazon, or socialize it, spread it across all the networks to let people know about the book. After all, I'm only one person, and I can only talk to you a few at a time. And you know friends, and friends know friends, and that's the way networking works. So I would very much appreciate it if you would like my YouTubes and subscribe to me and share them as much as you can. I enjoy being a teacher, and as they say, when the teacher is ready to teach, the pupils appear. So I'm hoping you're one of my pupils. So until we actually physically meet, be well, be safe, and enjoy reading my book. Bye.